Yo, what's good? It's your boy Lesson Power. Welcome. Today I got you guys my first lies, the P build using the sword of humanity you get from the final boss, the nameless puppet. First, let's start with the stats. On any build, you want to build up your capacity. I don't like for my builds to be lightly heavy or heavy as it slows you down. You also need capacity to add heavier gear to your builds, which adds more damage reduction. This build is focused on motivity, but as you can see, most of the stats are balanced. That's because after going past 30 stats, it really doesn't add too much more to the build. So after you go past 30, you can focus on balancing everything. But the three stats that I recommend in earlier stages, like if you haven't beat the game, are capacity, motivity, because motivity is basically what this build is focused around, and then health, and then you can also add a little bit of stamina. For the weapon, we're using Proof of Humanity, a weapon you get from the nameless puppet from the last boss battle. It also has a critical rate of 30%. I was also able to increase the motivity to A with a motivity crank. With this build, you'll be slashing more than using arts, so motivity is what I went for. I also plan to make a technique build of this version to see if it's more viable than the motivity version. But for the Legion arm, we're actually using Falcon Eyes just for a little bit of extra range damage. But let's get into the amulets. First, we have the Ghost Walk amulet. This gives you Fury Attack Dodge. And next, we got the Armor God amulet. Every time you attack, this gives you a physical damage buildup. And you can get this amulet from the dog at the hotel once you defeat Sir Minus. Next, we're going to talk about the Assassin's Amulet. We got a lot of critical hit chance on this build, including the Grindstone, so we're increasing the critical attack. Next, we got the Carcass Butcher's Amulet. Towards the end of the game, a lot of enemies are carcasses, but you can swap this out for anything that adds damage, basically. Next, for our defensive parts, we're going with anything with the highest damage reduction without getting us lightweight or heavyweight. That's what we want, basically. And right now we got the Arch Extra Heavy Ring Frame +1. This is New Game Plus, so I basically have everything +1. The Art Bridge Cartage +1 and the Arch Filter +1. And real quickly, I just want to go over these art filters, fibers. Alright, man, but as you can see, we got slash damage reduction, strike damage reduction, and pierce damage reduction. You got to think about what type of enemy you're fighting. Are you fighting an enemy with a sword or a boss with a sword that can slash you? Are you fighting an enemy that can strike, like with a hammer, that'll bash you? You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think about what can pierce you. Are you fighting an enemy with a staff that can pierce you? And each thing has a certain damage reduction. Like you can see, this has 14% strike damage reduction, and this has pierce damage reduction 22%. So you can get 22% on something that's piercing you, and that's a good amount. So whatever you're fighting, you need to decide what's best for this situation. Alright, man, so the grindstone is a big part of the game, and then we have the satisfaction grindstone. Temporarily increases weapon critical hit rate. So this can increase your critical hit chance rate, and we already have critical hit chance on the sword that we're using, so we have even greater critical hit chance. But next we're going to get into that P organ stuff, and then we're going to get y'all out of here. For your P organ, you want to start with increased staggerable window. Next is increased post steals, and most for all my stats, I went with something to increase my attack, my guard, my duration, or give me damage reduction. Also, when you go for attack, you want to go for things that give you more physical attack and more like staggerable attack, because this is still a motivity build, so you want to make sure that you're increasing your staggerable and stuff like that. Next, you want to add more amulets because this is going to increase your build diversity, and you want to increase your weight capacity as well. Next, you want increase pulse cells +2, and I believe the next one is enhanced pulse cell recovery 2. You definitely need this. This actually helps you recover more health when you use a pulse cell. Next, you want to increase your special grind uses. I actually missed this one, but I didn't want to reset, so I'm actually working on it now. But this will let you use your crit stone one more time, which in turn will allow you to put out more damage. And I believe the last two are staggerable window and retain guard. That staggerable window is definitely needed because that helps the enemy, that white window, stay on the enemy. Sometimes you can't get to them fast enough to hit them, so that increases the time that you have. And next we got perfect guard with weapon durability recover, and then we got enhanced post cell recovery 3. But that's the build. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all you guys for coming through, man. Deuces.